Hey guys, the future of the info industry is not any of these 8 things. This is something that I present to our team every year, and it's just the future of the info space and what I see. I do it every year, and I'm starting to find out that these 8 things, although they're happening, are not actually the most controversial or important thing that you should be taking away and preparing for in 2025. So let's cover what is actually happening right now, because this stuff is already happening, and thanks to AI and a lot of stuff, it's happening a lot faster than I thought. So market expansion. I'm seeing people use AI scalability to reach new markets, including international students, right? This is pretty obvious. ChatGPT, Jasper, all these AI generative tools are able to just translate to different languages, which means ads are getting translated, which means funnel videos are getting translated. People are overcoming the culture barrier and being able to expand into different markets just way easier than ever before. The only constraint is normally, can I make an AI version or avatar version of myself that has these cultural norms for these different countries? The answer is a lot of people are just ditching that in order to just find another guru in their local market and just identify them and put them on payroll. That is, I have yet to see true AI avatar versions of different gurus with all these cultural nuances so they can expand to like world domination. But that is happening, right? Personalized marketing is starting to happen too. Now, with things like ad transparency and Facebook limiting the amount and Google limiting the amount of variations and things that you can do, breaking certain targetings, this isn't as dominant yet as maybe it will be in the future. But we're seeing real-time personalization on landing pages. We're seeing real-time enrichment of financial data in order to personalize marketing, and we're seeing it in ways that were never like used to be what's called feasible to do or worth someone's time, right? There was always these people, I could show you a few examples of just like translating IP. We used to do this at Clever Investor, where you would see like how to do real estate deals and then local market would take the dynamic IP, change it to your city and state, and it would say Tempe, Arizona, Peoria, Illinois, Des Moines, Iowa, right? And whatever market that the user was experiencing, it would do that in relative real time and swap it using JavaScript or some sort of CSS trickery and personalization. But the ability to personalize marketing based off of personality type is emerging. These tools like Persona Live by Spatial is insane, and we're getting these crazy data sets that in real time are personalizing the experience all the way from user journey and email. We're using it in VSL funnels and a bunch of other things like that. But again, guys, these aren't even the most important things to be aware of. I'm gonna keep going. Content generation on product side. I think most people have, let's just call it, used generative AI to create course content. I know we have and outlined. It's just, that's super obvious. So I'm gonna keep moving past that as a use case. There are some best practices that maybe I will go into later, but there are specific tools just for this purpose, although you can use the standard out-of-box ones. I'm finding a lot of use case in Claude doing that for outlining. ChatGPT works great too if you're looking for the big box tools, but there's some specialized tools just for our industry in ed tech and education centered around learning. All right. AI tutors, those are becoming much more prevalent. I'm not even calling them tutors anymore. We're talking about like emergent was, you can see like Tutor AI, that is, or Delphi, basically personalized learning paths with these bots that are, let's just say like you can load up Delphi now and do action journeys and basically take someone through the process of a course deployed through a bot and a tutor, right? And you can give it custom instructions to coach you up and actually challenge you on certain things and use it as a personalized discovery learning path, these custom learning paths, which is super, super cool. I'll show you guys an example in the future, in a future video just on this. We could do a whole hour-long video just on AI tutors and their impact on this industry. But people are starting to see the value, and they're starting to get really good. Like mine is exceptional. If you guys want access to mine, click below in the comments here, and I will drop a link to it. I'm only rolling out to select few. It has a bunch of proprietary information of how we, $100 million plus worth of info knowledge in it, in addition to I've been recording every internal meeting for like the last 5 or 6 years, pretty much. Like there's some stuff that I'm missing, but for the most part, it's smarter than me at this point. And like I'll refer to it, I'm like, oh yeah, I do that. That's pretty cool. So, and like the thing with Delphi specifically, like I won't go into it too much, but you can add stuff like recency bias. You can add custom tonality instructions in addition to the custom purpose instructions in addition to custom instructions too. So there's like these cognitive layers that make it think like you and actually coach like you if you wanted to, right? So, and you can personalize it to different people's styles, which is fun. I'll talk about that. A lot of people aren't doing that. A lot of people aren't they're personalizing it for their own brand voice and tone, but how do you actually personalize it for the user? How do you get it to work within memory so it remembers whenever you come back where you left off? That's the cool part that I think a lot of people are missing out on right now. Because we as humans, we're really good at our best, fusing what we're good at with who we're talking to. So one-to-one conversation is very different than a one-to-many conversation, right, in tutoring. Advertising. So much hoopla in the advertising world. And I'm not talking about just like AI creatives, although like VO3 and a bunch of stuff is getting scary good at not knowing, like a lot of it's starting to fool me. I'm like, dang, is this AI? I don't know. But data-driven recommendations, specifically from Magix, and stuff like, let's see if CLDR is out. It hasn't launched yet. There's a lot of potential in what that tech is going to do. But data-driven optimizations in Magix, we'll maybe cut this out. You guys, if I share anything sensitive, we'll cut this out. But AI Marketer for Magix is like a really simple example of every day it's starting to think like you and doing things that I find to be super, super valuable. So let me pull this into the screen here. Ask AI Marketer to do more. So every day, like right now, you can see it's suggesting negative comments that need my action. I can generate AI reply, but it's actually going through and starting to think like me and make recommendations, and I can set these funnel exclusions, right? A bunch of other stuff I can just hit. I'm like, sweet, set that, scale this winning ad set. Why is it doing this? Because of this logic. Why this logic is happening is because every day if I come here and I'm just like, recommend a relaunch of any ad that is ROAS positive that I turned off in the last 60 days must be over 1.2 ROAS, right? And I'm requesting that AI task. And I'm just like, please recommend I shut off any campaign with a trailing 4-day average where cost per application is above $300 request, and so on and so forth. So if you do this every day, you get a ton of different recommendations, right? All right, let's go back. So that's just like some of the stuff, right, happened on the advertising side. Might be cutting off my face here. We'll go over here. All right, revenue models, subscription models. Those are just becoming more dominant, and I think it's because of Hormozy and Sam Ovens honestly propagating it. Are they becoming more profitable, or like is there a reason to switch to subscription models? Yeah, if you have like continuous value like a Delphi bot, what I was saying, like in a tutor, yeah, absolutely. But a lot of the times these info businesses aren't inherently built for recurring revenue. Therefore, we're trying to like add these retention tactics that don't make sense, but certainly that is a trend. People are moving towards that as a low effort way to start a product. And with the ability to quickly create content or outsource it or create a community, subscription models do make some sense and are becoming easier than ever to create. So premium in-person pop-ups. This is one I just don't see many people talk about, and it leads to my most controversial take of where I think things are headed. Hear me out here. In a world where AI is getting very scary and you don't even know, is this the real Nick that's even talking right now? Maybe this is an AI avatar. Like, AI avatars are good enough to do this type of motion that I'm doing, to mirror my cadence, my tonality, the inflection, everything. So this might not be me, right? In a world where you can't trust, if you just met me, let's say this is the first time you're watching me. God bless you. Glad you're on this channel. Please subscribe, like and subscribe. And then 2 days later, you figured out, dang, that human that I thought was human tricked me, and he's an AI avatar. And he didn't disclose that, even though I just did. I'll let you guys figure out if it is or isn't. We'll leave that is. But things are good enough where I might be AI. in a world where you don't know and you feel breach of trust, and now all of a sudden you have to use all this cognitive energy to decide, is that AI? Is that not? Who's behind these scenes? That's like, there's a lot of break in trust and breach in trust, and we're going to be slower than ever to trust people. And think about that. In a world where we don't know if someone we just met online is AI, people are going to gravitate towards in-person and the influencers online that they knew before the age of AI. They'll be like, cool, Grant Cardone, Alex Hormozy, like these people that existed before we had all this generative AI nonsense, I know he's real because I remember following him back in 2019 and the tech wasn't good enough. There's no way he could be AI, right? That'll happen. So what we're going to see, I think, is this like huge freezing of people's personal brands where it's going to be really, really hard because AI is going to get so good. It's just going to be better at personal branding and guruing than we are. So there's going to be more dynamic versions of me that I'm going to have to make if I want to stand out and continue to grow in this environment. And it'll be like this arms race. It'll be the new race to the bottom. Will be like all these improvements on AI avatars and influencers. And I think we're going to live in a really weird world, right, where people don't trust, and there's going to be this catch-up system where it's like, no, that's a real person. He has the badge, right, on there. And then there will be an AI tech that can fake the badge. And it'll be this cat and mouse, catch me if you can game that no one will ever figure out. And because people will just get confused and they'll get had and they'll get scammed and they'll feel like, oh, man, that's a real person. Now it's not. And they'll feel weird about following someone. And the nice thing is that robotics is trailing behind quite considerably for AI avatars. So the chances that you're watching AI Nick right now, somewhat high, could be. The chances that you are going to meet AI Nick and he's going to convince you he's a real human in person at an in-person pop-up event, premium, meetups, low right now. That would be crazy. That'd be crazy, and God help us if we're in that world. I don't know what's going to happen, but we are years away from that. The energy tax like on us all having AI actual clones of us is going to be pretty high. It's going to be expensive at first until the cost comes down. So where I see everything headed is this is going to be the huge differentiator, is people who have revenue models and bring people to do in-person events. It's why out there, maybe we can show and post our cut to our mastermind room, and there we're starting to do like monthly annual events. When you go to whereispace.com, he's going on a 100 city tour. Let me drag this in so you guys can see this. I feel like post team, you guys are going to hate me. You're going to have to see. So where's Pace? He's currently in Arizona. Guess what, though? Starting in October, he's going to Hawaii, Anchorage, Alaska, Oklahoma, Chicago, Milwaukee, Green Bay. It's basically like a world tour like a musician would run, because we so much believe in this one thing, that if you create these in-person relationships with people now and they knew you and they met you before the age of AI, you're going to have such a different bond with them, and you're going to be able to continue to do online marketing. So I imagine a world where people are like, unfollow now, like this person created their account, like they started working on their personal brand in 2023, could be AI. Could be AI. So it's super important. It's why I'm not deleting my oldest IG posts. I already deleted a few of my oldest ones, and I was like, shoot, I shouldn't have done that. I need to anchor in like a pre-COVID world, let's say. I bet people will remember, they're like, around COVID time, after COVID, AI started taking off. So my controversial take is, do not delete any posts. You need to have at least one post before 2020 in the future for someone to be like, cool, yeah, no, clearly, look, like Instagram wouldn't lie to us. They posted that in 2019. They were a real person. Maybe they're AI now, or AI like using AI content, but like I know that person and they existed and I trusted them before this world of AI. And that's my controversial take that you guys need to look out for. I'm pretty sure I'm right on this one. We'll see how it plays out.